Thank you, Mr. Sampath, for giving me the first go. And I'm very happy, that actually this is the moment of truth for me, and for me in Meghalaya, definitely. At least on this trip. I'm hoping there will be some more opportunities for engagement going forward, because the plan was for me to be here for these 2 days. Mr. Sampath was kind enough, to say you should be there. And and I don't I think I could have had any better 2 days on 4th and 5th August. Yeah. So this is really terrific, and I'm so grateful and humbled, by the energy that I have felt in this room. The way the sessions from all over the globe have come in one after the other. Michael, of course, right in person, and not minding his long journey and everything. He never let you feel that it was only his 20%, which was actually running through the whole program yesterday. And that's the kind of commitment that the world has to the world. The world has to this whole idea of monitoring, evaluation, learning, adaptation, and all that, right? So it's a mela, if you understand, yeah, MELA. The A here, which is actually adaptive action, yeah. So the A is adaptive action, and that's what PDIA is all about, and that's something that I think we got to really take away from here, related to our work that we are going to do starting Monday morning, and with that, justify all the time, energy, the goodwill, the good feelings that we have all shared for the last 2 days. So this will be the real test of the team Meghalaya. Whether we stay as a team after we walk out of this room, and whether we understand how our jobs connect to each other. What is the information that I have that could be useful for my colleague here? So if we have been able to create a network of at least this first cohort of this leadership workshop, that bridge right from Shillong Ward Lake Garden, the point A to point B, Mr. Sampath was mentioning in the morning. He has provided you the bridge. Are you ready to cross over? Are you ready to cross over to the next level of your leadership indulgence in the state of Meghalaya for the benefit of the people for whom we are all aggregated over here together, right? So let's move forward, because I have limited time, but I have many slides. I have to tell you that it's after more than 5 years that I felt the need to put some slides over there, and it's all your magic, all of you stewards. You made me put some slides together, and I'm really grateful to you all for inspiring me to do that. Let's go forward. They know their names. Now you can see yourself. These 2 days are about you. You have been the listener, but you are the main focus of the entire thing. And have you been peanuts? People is the big one. And there are some paraphrases over there, but if you look at the essence of what it is, you might find a few more big ones there. Something very common to connect. This is your voice. This is your language. This is the language in which you understand development. Yeah, so thank you, Prachi, for putting that quotation. In the comics, they say the speaking, what is that bubble called, by the way? I don't know the technical term for it, but it's your voice. So this is really a great thing you participated in. Now I'm stealing some slides from yesterday, which are relevant for your stewardship. And this sentence over there, I think we heard about it, how systems have not helped us. So when systems collapse, people rise. So stop cribbing about the system. You are the system. You're talking about the autonomy. Who is stopping you? Have you really asked? Have you even tried to push the boundaries a little bit? You try it out. Nobody's stopping you. You are in a free country, right? और अभी तो हम आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव मना रहे हैं. So, if you don't express yourself now, when will you do it? Time is just passing by. So please, people, rise. Yeah? Don't crib about the systems. Let's go forward. This is a beautiful slide from yesterday. I want you to, spend more time when you get the deck, when you see it. Try to figure out, how it relates to your work. And it does. Believe me. It does for each one of us. And, past stewards over-relied on the bottom half. I think I somehow missed the top half. You have to actually focus on the top half. The dignity and inclusion, well-being, economy, vital conditions. Focus on the green part. Go green, okay? And have some life. It's very important. Get back to the natural ways of doing things. Nobody's stopping you. It's just that, we have been taught too much, we have learned so much, and I totally agree, we got to unlearn first. And let's rediscover ourselves if we have to, and go forward to your stewardship journey. And there are some values, practices, you can refer to them, reflect on them, see which one resonates with you, which one you already have, which one you have, maybe, because you got that scolding last year, you have forgotten about it, So just make yourself back, find yourself back. Let's go ahead. The formula, I think Mr. Sampath summarized it for us in the morning, and he got it right. You remember it, sir? So, so remembering is the easy part. The S is the difficult part. R, looking at this room, I feel, that's not so difficult. It's just about some trust and transparency and, making sure that you stand up for each other in times of need, that our part will definitely be there with you. The fit to context, yes, go down to the block, that context, the village context, the district context, it got to fit to each context. It's simple, if you see, in terms of the phrases, and you have enough experience, you don't necessarily have to master these slides. You just have to reflect, relate it to your environment, work environment, and just go ahead, do it. Thanks for, insisting on that session, Sanjeev. It's really great you brought this to us. Let's move forward. Well, my learning from this morning, that's why the slides became kind of important. And we are all talking about learning. You learn wherever you go, isn't it? And this is from the park, this teamwork that was going on over there. At the Awards Lake itself, this morning, as fresh as that. So let's move forward. And you can see, the teamwork going on. The log is moving forward, further ahead. Well, I think it's a reverse cap. And then finally, the log goes into the water. And why does it do so? Because now this motorboat and this rope will be used to, drag it along the water with whatever it is, and they got to take it to the other side. So much of planning they have done. So much of planning they have done, so much of teamwork is going on, so much of strategizing is going on. And we say we don't have talent and we don't have the capacity. It's a matter of, tapping to the capacity that we have, and we have a lot of it. And just look at around you and you'll see how much talent Meghalaya has, of course. Let's go forward. Data. There's no dearth of it. Yeah, you are so methodical. You have the information you need. You really know what you're doing and where you're doing it. So let's go to the next one. And there you see, geospatial. Yeah? That's geospatial for you. And you know, just please be on the back side only. You can see, you know, how it has been drawn to scale. The territory has been actually captured on this map. You could use digital tools over and above. You could do whatever, you know. But there's no dearth of this knowledge. You know your territory very well. You just have to, you know, make it geospatial. And with the Wi-Fi zone and the digital technology, the communication technology, the access to information, the sharing of information, all of that possible, you are really into that, you know, digital age, post-digital age now. Because it's been more than 8 years of digital India, you have so much of data in the system. And you don't necessarily have to only rely on statistical data. You could use transactional data to understand how things are moving. And transactional data from the point of transaction. So this is from the inside. This is exactly where, you know, that coffee house is there. So a little bit of suggestion towards that. But anyway. And yeah, this is why I captured this. Because we talked about geospatial. And I saw a correlation with what Ashish was talking about yesterday. And Mr. Sanjeev is right. It's so accessible. It's not far. So let's go to the next slide. It's not the boat far over there. Even if it is, and it is a necessary one, I know you will swim across to that boat. Yes? And you will get to it. But in the meanwhile, if there is an accessible boat, low-hanging fruit, you might as well use that as well. Swim when we have to the boat. Go to the boat which is available. This is also from Ward Lake, okay? And I'm really grateful for this morning walk. And well, and this is the bamboo from, you know, the place where I'm staying. The backyard has this bamboo. Meghalaya, you are really, really blessed. Deeply rooted and yet so flexible. And who can stop you? Nobody can. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Sampath has been working hard to get you all together into this room. It's the first cohort, and you are going to be the brand ambassadors of the next leaders, right? You are going to actually prepare the second cohort, and you have to suggest who is the next batch who is to come here. You got to suggest that next batch, because I think that wave has already started. Yeah, it's our time now, isn't it? And anyway, let's move forward. Stakeholder. Arun. So where do we put him in the influence and what was the other one? Power. Oh, the interest and power. Interest and power. Well, I must say that, you know, I was just carried away, you know, by the beauty of Meghalaya. And I must say that, you know, it might as well be the most beautiful place in the world. Because I've not had this feeling, you know, walking in some similar park elsewhere in the world. I've never been so happy in a long time as this morning was. And I could say, you know, that there's an alignment to the clouds when you say Meghalaya, you know. Yeah? Abode of clouds. And the lay is actually the tune, the music. Yeah? So it's really great. Let's move forward. Yeah, just being grateful, you know, that we are in this part of the world. It's beautiful, really. And you cannot dream for, you know, a better place either on earth or in heaven. Sorry? Nothing. You know, you should really feel lucky that you are here. And you know, make it heaven for more people who are here. And you know, it's going to be here and here only. Because there's nothing else. There's nothing after this. Okay? Everything is right here, right now. Okay? So let's just be grateful. Let's look at the positives. Let's, understand. There was this very interesting exercise, first question yesterday. Prateek, I was thinking about, this thing. The two questions actually just say, do you think yourself into a new way of acting, or do you act yourself into a new way of thinking? That's the question all about. Either way it works. It's the human, system. It's not just mind. It's not just heart. It's not just hands. It's a whole system of, mind, body, heart, and soul. All sources of energy. And when you try to integrate it all, you have all the solutions. Well, this was a bunch of sunflowers, my favorite set of flowers. I saw them after a long time, so I clicked them. This one, the one previous, not looking so happy because they don't have enough sunshine yet. Yeah, some of them are not. You know what that means. And you know what that means. And you see, just like people, sunflowers are always in a jhund. Just like people are born to connect, birds are born to fly, sunflowers like this. So let's find our connections. Let's make sure everybody gets the sun. Yeah, that's the task. And I'm sure, this next leaders cohort is going to set the road for everybody else to follow. So about people outside this room, you are great people. And this is one friend from this morning in Meghalaya. He was kind enough to allow me into the park without me having a pass. Had he not allowed me, this session would not have been possible. So my vote of thanks to him. Of course, back to square one. This is where we began. This is where we start to continue. Okay? And this is how we begin the practice of, bringing the Amrit Kal, if you believe in it. Yeah? I would suggest you please believe in it. Because this is not just Indian mythology and some political rhetoric. No, it is not like that. As people, we got to believe in something like, that gods conspire for things to align in such a way that their systems improve. Because things go so awry, out of control, that something got to happen from within the system that exists for something good to happen. So the Greek term is kairos, and here in India we are calling it Amrit Kal. And if you read Carl Jung and others, you'll find reference to these kind of thoughts. And Carl Jung has worked about, human consciousness through the history of time. So that's very important. And the lessons that you were referring to, right from freedom to now, they are very important and relevant too. So let's take it from here. And, okay, the last slide. जश्न जीत का, okay? जीत का जश्न, आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव. And let's bring the flags. Let's bring the flags for soaking ourselves in the spirit of Azadi, so you can feel a little more autonomous than you have been feeling all this while. And you are the system. You got to push the boundaries. Nobody has stopped you from caring for people. Nobody has stopped you from, doing something nice to the people whose life you touch. Don't make those excuses, please. Find your ways, to be able to help without getting in trouble, of course. And And that would be very important. And it's quite possible in the time that is unfolding just now. Right? So I have my colleague, from the uh, from the Postal Service, who is here just to help me out with, celebrating with all of us here the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign and the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, to soak ourselves in the spirit. Americans, they have celebrated 4th of July so wholeheartedly. Now, let us beat them at that game. Let's make 15th August 2022 and the period around it and every day in between, because you never know whether there is another one after this. Let's make good use of each day. Let's have self-monitoring, evaluation, learning every day for each one of us. Have a habit of reflection, okay? Have a habit of reflection. Manage a journal, if you will. Just see, how your own growth continues, irrespective of what challenges are there. And you can definitely help solve so many more problems. So, looks like the flags are tied up too tight or what? No? We are good. So maybe in the fitness of things, Jyoti, she's the Senior Superintendent of Post Offices here in Shillong. Anybody has any problem with postal services? I'm sure you have many. She is here to she is here to help you out with them. And please make good use of her contact. And please, everybody, make sure you have the India flag on you before you leave the room. Just to keep things simple, maybe we just present one to Mr. Sampath, and we can have a picture maybe. And at the end, please, when everybody has the flags, we should have some pictures as well. Thanks. So for everybody else, then how do we do it? In the interest of time, maybe we begin with that can be distributed. Just please pose for a picture before leaving. Let's be late in the end, right? That will be the send-off. That will be the send-off. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I think meanwhile you can distribute. So I think it's a beautiful presentation by Mr. Shailendra. He's the Joint Secretary to Government of India, in charge of basically the DMEO, Development Monitoring and Evaluation Office. So it's a. I will not take much time because we have already crossed that 4 o'clock, the time that we have given. But and more than that, like you all have actually contributed so beautifully, especially for the questions, the 3 questions asked by Mr. Sanjeev. I think the beauty is that if we can start working on those things that what we discussed, and we can start maybe thinking about how actually we can bring those learnings, whatever the learnings that what we have yesterday and today, and and especially at the end, the way we have reflected, what are the, what did we learn? I think we can add one more question before that. I think there are three questions. I think what did we learn? And how actually we can, those learnings can be applied on a day-to-day basis. I think can we start applying from today, from tomorrow, I think, or from Monday. Okay. So I think maybe if we can do that one, that will be great. And as far as this cohort, I think I must, first of all, I would like to say thanks how actually this has happened. So this entire idea has happened when I visited recently the World Bank headquarters, and for a presentation, and there when we met Professor Michael Woolcock, and thereafter Mr. Sanjeev Sridharan, he's the Gates Foundation head for the in fact, monitoring and evaluation and other systems, learning systems. So we met him, and Mr. Sanjeev and myself, and also Professor Arun also actually was there, to see me. And we started actually came out this idea, why can't we actually, this idea of evaluation school, summer evaluation school. The beautiful, that's the way actually it is used in some of these Ivy League universities. So that was done, like I'm talking about this, we discussed in the month of April, second half, and by August we have this one. And I must thank Sanjeev ji. I think please rise, and we all wanted to give a round of applause for you. Really, thank you so much for. So this is because of the spirit and that what you have shown all through. I think we'll continue this. I think you were always the spirit. You always say that, like, we need to. People should learn from Meghalaya. You say that, I liked it. So some of the things that you say, it actually makes us feel that we can do, we can do, and we can do. So that's what actually it has been proven. I think that by the participation of each of the participants, And the second, of course, I would like to thank Professor Michael Woolcock. One of the greatest, professor, who actually. Gave that profound thought, along with other few professors like Lan Pritchett and Michael Matt Andrews, a profound thought about the state capability, how it is so important. A very simple, the way he mentioned today, it is a kind of a it's a philosophy, and how actually he said, like, it is so important, it's profound, and he has come all the way from in fact, this again, of course, I also would like to learn about persuasion skills from Mr. Sanjeev Sridharan. So the way, and he has come, in fact, he has cut short his holiday at home at Australia, and came here. And I also request all of us to give a round of applause to Professor Michael Woolcock for flying all the way. And, and in fact, he didn't even sleep, this is, and, staying with us and guiding us. It gives us a lot of energy, honestly, because what we have been doing, how to actually convert some of this, the profound knowledge into practice. That's what we are trying to do. This practice, how actually we'll be able to. And if he's coming here, the advantage is that he can also actually take it, he can continue to guide us. We can take that support. And then of course, I definitely, I think you all enjoyed, the last session, Mr. Shailendra. So, and he's a joint secretary to Government of India, and is one of the rare joint secretaries who have taken that kind of an effort to go to the states, trying to bridge that center-state, that connections. I really appreciate you, sir. And a big round of applause to Shailendra, and let's and his team, yeah. And Professor Arun, who has been there, like, he's very quiet, but he gave a very profound and simple, useful, knowledge that what we require. I think I like what you have summarized, how actually every department should have a mission, every organization should have a mission. I think it's a big takeaway, Professor Arun. I think we must actually, what we should do with your Center for Policy, that performance, and Meghalaya, but I think Mr. Ram Kumar is the key person for all these partnerships, please, okay? And see that, like, we have this mission statements and vision statements, for all the departments. So let's, like, that's one thing that take away from your thing. Thank you very much, Professor Arun. It's really great. Thank you, you all. And of course, like, I also want to thank the two, like, Pratik and Rebecca, and we should not forget them. So they are, incredibly, and of course, yeah. So they have graduated, and I've requested them, come and work with me, like, leaving all those great jobs. They came and they started working with us for last 1.5 years, and I really appreciate both of your contribution, Ravi, Pratik, and Rebecca, and all the members, like, and I forgot Eon. Okay. Okay, please sit down. I think, yeah, Eon is an amazing person we have found from Scotland. All the way he has come from Scotland. Ian, oh, that's great. I like that. so Ian, thank you very much. I think we will work with you, continue to have these workshops, and and a structure will create. And finally, I wanted to thank each one of you, the participants. Like, without you, I think this program would not be a success. The way you involve yourself, the sincerity, you are really the next leaders, I'm saying. And with my, I'm saying with all sincerity, definitely, I think you will make a huge difference. And you will definitely provide that stewardship, leadership to this state. And I thank you very much. And I forgot, like, of course, Dr. Sandra is always like the part of our health team, so we always forget. But Dr. Sandra, thank you very much. Okay, and thank you all. Thank you all, and I think we'll end the session today. And thank you very much. And maybe one photograph of with the flags. Thank you.